All right. So if you haven't already, if you will log into the chat with your name and organization, please. I also just put the minutes from our March meeting in the chat as well. If y'all will take just a second to look over those. And if I could have a motion in the chat, or you can say it out loud if you want to approve those minutes, that would be great.
Jillian, it's Caroline. I'll approve those. I'll make the motion.
It's Gabby. I'll second.
Thank y'all. And if all in favor can either unmute and say aye or put it in the chat.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor to anybody who wants to share events, activities, whatever y'all have going on, coming up, cool stuff, or if you want to share about your programs, y'all are welcome to do that now.
Hey, Jillian, I'll share. This is
Gabby
Gabby
who's gonna go first, me or you?
this is Gabby with the Tennessee Commission on Children and Youth. And we actually have an event tomorrow from 9 to 2. It's a long title, but basically it's on familial trafficking. We're doing it in partnership with the Community Coalition Against Human Trafficking, which is the agency that I came from. And you can still register for that, and I can put the link in the chat. But also, I just wanted to say in May, the end of May, we're doing a really big foster care summit over at Bristol Motor Speedway in partnership with a couple of different agencies. But it's basically a showcase to the community of all the wonderful services that we have available for kids who are going through the child welfare system in our state. Basically, we're just trying to show that, you know, fostering in East Tennessee is possible. There's lots of support and help. There's going to be part resource fair with vendors set up with tables and information. And then we also have speakers. There's going to be lunch. It's just an all-day event on May 30th from, I think, 8:30 till 3. There's also going to be a raffle with some fun prizes, things like that. But I'll also put that in the chat if you're wanting to sign up to be a vendor to have a table, or if you just want to attend, please spread the word. We're going to try to get it out there far and wide, but we'd love to have you guys.
Okay, I'll go next. This is Shauna, the health educator at the Carter County Health Department. And I think most of you on here I'll actually see at this event, but there's a couple of faces I don't know yet. The Carter County Health Department is actually hosting our first post-COVID event, which is our community baby shower. It's April the 13th from 1 to 3 p.m. here at the Carter County Health Department. This is a targeted event, and I put the flyer in the chat earlier. I can do it again if you need me to. What we're doing is we're looking to target our expected mothers, parents, caregivers, and children ages birth to 5 years of age. We have all kinds of free activities planned, free food. There's going to be a diaper walk. All of our vendors are bringing gift baskets or door prizes to raffle off. We'll be utilizing the outside park and our inside space. It's going to be a really good event. Jillian has graciously helped us out as our fiscal agent through this entire process. Thank you, Jillian. Helping us. We have our managed care organizations, WellPoint, United Healthcare, the Elizabeth and River Riders will be there, Carter County Drug Prevention, of course, UT Extension. We have all kinds of vendors coming. So please, if you would like to join, let me know. Please spread it far and wide, share it to as many people as possible. We'd love to see a big turnout. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Brittany Peeler from Johnson City Recovery Center. I'm a CPRS there. We are having our monthly fundraiser, which is game night. That's coming up Saturday, April 13th And this time we are having a spades tournament. So there will be prizes and all kinds of stuff, pizza, drinks. It's a really good way for people in recovery to network and meet other people in recovery. We do ask for a $10 donation because it is our fundraiser, but if you don't have that, we never turn people away. We have a really good time. So I encourage everybody to come out April 13th.
This is John Knack with Creekside. We unfortunately had to cancel our 5K for April the 13th, but we are going to be having our second annual collaborative health fair at Creekside to the Saturday to be determined, probably either the 8th or the 15th. And it'll be similar to last year where we'll have food trucks and vendors get fed, and just a 4-hour event for people to network and figure out what the follow-up care is for folks after they've been in a crisis facility. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. This is Marissa Muse with Village Behavioral Health, and I just wanted to let everybody know we have adults ages 9 to 17. We are a residential facility. We're very therapy intensive, and we're out of Knoxville, Tennessee. However, we take kids from all over the nation. And where am I leaving out? We do CBT, DBT, EMDR, and a bunch of other therapies, equine therapy, and all the good therapies. If anyone has any questions or can think of a child that might need a placement, just let me know. My email is in the chat.
So I've got a couple things I wanted to share. If y'all will look at the chat, Ashley shared our event for the solar eclipse viewing party that's coming up on Monday. The library also has solar eclipse glasses to give out if anybody needs those. So send everybody, most of the schools are getting out. So if you're looking for something fun to do with kiddos, we're going to have an awesome event on Monday at Kiwanis Park. I also shared the flyer for our upcoming parenting seminars. So these are Triple P parenting seminars that will be at the library. Folks will get a certificate for each session that they attend, as well as a certificate if they attend all of the sessions. There are 3 sessions that are focused on kiddos 0 to 12, and then 3 sessions that are focused on teenagers. And so people are welcome to join any of those that apply to them or that they're interested in. Anybody else have anything before we move into our speaker? Okay, well, we'll take a few minutes after the speakers too, if y'all think of something else you want to share. But I will go ahead and turn it over. Today we have our Lifeline team on with us. I'm super excited for y'all to hear from them and hear about the amazing work that they do, not just in our region, but also statewide, and the impact that they have on folks really throughout the state of Tennessee. So I'm going to turn it over to Ashley and Jennifer. Ashley, you should be able to share your screen.
Let me see. I'm still very new to technology when it comes to Zoom. I might just need 1 second. I have to change my settings on my computer real fast. Nope, it's not letting me. Oh, we may have to do it without our presentation. I'm so sorry.
Do you see share screen at the bottom?
No, my whole screen has. Let's see. Here. There we go. I think I got it.
Got it.
Good job, Ashley.
I'm learning. All right, I think I got it. Everybody see it? Awesome. So my name's Ashley Krause. I am the faith-based coordinator for the East Grand region. I am out of the Metro Drug Coalition in Knoxville, Tennessee. However, I cover 33 counties in the East Tennessee region right now. And I'm sure some of y'all are familiar with the faith-based initiatives. Our mission is to educate all 12,000 of Tennessee's faith-based communities on ways they can be supportive for folks that are struggling with mental illness or substance misuse. I am also a person in long-term recovery, and so I found my recovery through a faith-based program back in 2016, and the importance that the faith community can play in somebody's recovery is so important. However, the faith community isn't always a safe place for folks to come and access resources and support due to the fact that there's still a lot of stigma around mental health and substance misuse. And so I really enjoy getting to go into some of our churches and our faith-based organizations and just start, for one, spreading awareness, but educating our faith community on trauma-informed care. And we do a lot of mental health basics, but we also do different presentations on stigma reduction. So learning to recognize the words that we're using when talking about somebody, whether it be up close and personal or talking about somebody in the community, can play a huge impact on somebody coming forward and accessing resources and support. So with 12,000 congregations in the state of Tennessee, which is huge, it greatly outweighs, a lot of our treatment centers. So there's something that each one of our churches can do. They just got to be willing and have that desire to learn a little bit more about how they could be impactful. So leveraging the faith community, so partnering with Tennessee's faith community to effectively have that conversation around recovery, leveraging, establishing increased capacity for care. So there's over 3.5 million people in Tennessee that are connected to the faith community in some shape or form. The faith community can do all kinds of things to help. I know a lot of times there's this misconception of they need to start like a full-blown recovery program to be to work with us, and that's actually not the case. Each one of our faith entities has a strength. So some have really great recovery programs that we work with. Some hold recovery meetings, but also some just disseminate recovery information. I work with some churches that have like a resource center in their church that is just for recovery and mental health resources. And then I also work with some churches that have full-blown harm reduction programs within their church. I work with one in Claiborne County who has an SSP in their church, which is, I'm a huge advocate for harm reduction, so I think that's awesome. But it's a way for folks to come in, have interactions with the faith community, but be able to access the resources they need without that fear of judgment or stigma. So some of the goals of the faith-based initiatives is just being able to connect individuals that are struggling with mental illness and substance use to treatment. As you see, I know a lot of y'all on here, me and Jennifer are out here in the community a lot, networking with different treatment providers, different recovery meetings, whether that be sober living. And we really just try to stay on top of what's available. So when we get those phone calls, we have the appropriate resources to send the individuals. We facilitate an understanding of what treatment and recovery are. Again, that looks different for everybody. So just having as many resources in our pocket is super important. We also do spread awareness. in our community. So we do a lot of community events. We set up at a lot of resources. Some of the churches that I work with host Faith and Recovery Day. So it's bringing recovery into the church, educating the congregation. They have a whole day that is just about recovery and ways that other church members and other churches in the community can get involved. And so this is our map right now. We currently have 4 faith-based coordinators across the state. The yellow is the territory that I cover. However, that is fixing to change in July, which I'm really excited about. 33 counties is a lot to have, so I'm on the road quite often. In July, we are getting 3 more coordinators, so my territory will actually change, but I will still be the coordinator for the Northeast region. So if you have folks out of the region, here's the map. Again, it'll change, and I'll get that information out soon as we have the updated map with who the new coordinators will be. So looking at some of the results, since the faith-based initiative started back in 2014, 1,227 certified recovery congregations in the state. So that's 1,227 churches that have said, hey, we want to do better. So come in, educate us, and we're willing to work with you and start supporting folks that are in recovery or struggling with substance misuse and mental health. We've been able to present 2,670 educational forums throughout the state and really just increased awareness of the recovery support that we've got available to us here in Tennessee. And then you'll see here that there's a QR code for folks to scan, and that is different resources that community can access. So we provide everything that we do in the community is free. So we do trainings, we connect folks to resources. There's opportunities to collaborate with faith-based organizations and other congregations. So we like to connect other churches that are recovery friendly to other churches. And a lot of times they come together and do really big events, and they work together in the community to collaborate just to get more recovery efforts out there. So there's a couple ways that ministries can be recognized as a certified recovery congregation or a certified recovery community of faith. So a lot of times I will hear, or Jennifer or other coordinators will hear about faith-based organizations or churches that are doing recovery work and have it certified with us. And a lot of times we will see the different things that we're doing, and one of us can go ahead and certify them if that is something that they are willing to do. And then they also have the opportunity to fill out a form about the different things that they're doing within their church or their ministry, and sign up on their own time. So the connection to like-minded faith organizations, being recognized as a certified recovery congregation connects you to your faith organizations who follow the best practice model for those serving in crisis or recovery. So one of the questions that's asked on the form stack that they fill out is, do you see addiction as a treatable disease? Just be willing to meet folks where they are. And we ask if they provide pastoral support, embrace and support people in recovery and walk with them along their journey, disseminate the recovery information. And again, this looks different with each church and each ministry that we work with. So we're not saying like, oh, we want you to do this, this, and this. Really just having the mindset of doing better, helping us reduce the stigma in the community, and just providing a safe place for those that are wanting to come into a church or a faith-based organization to have that support without that stigma and that fear or guilt and shame that sometimes comes from the faith community. And so this is the QR code where you can, if you have a faith-based ministry and you would like to become certified, you can fill out. So this goes to the state, and this also comes to me. The state sends out a really neat a certificate that we come out and present to you and your ministry. And then we start scheduling some trainings. So last year they implemented a recertification process. So that way our ministries and our churches were staying involved with us. And so every 2 years you have the opportunity to recertify. And in that 2-year process, you have to go through at least 3 different trainings with us, or we can send you the material to access this online, which I think is awesome. And then we're going to move right into Lifeline. And Jennifer, I'll let you introduce this fella that couldn't make it today.
Thank you very much, Ashley. So I'm Jennifer Street. I am the hybrid Lifeline coordinator for Carter and Johnson County. And this is Jeremiah Lovelady, which I know most of you all know. He is our Lifeline coordinator. I can't remember how many counties he has. I know he has like
8.
Hawkins down to like me, I guess. I know he's got like Sullivan, Hawkins. He, like I said, he is the Lifeline coordinator for that area. And he basically does the same thing that I do, with just a little bit of a difference, where I'm hybrid and I concentrate on rural distressed counties. So that's all we're going to say about him today.
Yes,
So
MIA.
again, I'm Jennifer. I'm the hybrid Lifeline coordinator for Johnson and Carter County. And I too am someone in long-term recovery. And I basically, what I do is I help people get into treatment. I try to do different trainings in the area, spread awareness. I work very closely with Ashley, with our faith-based coordinator, and going in and changing the stigma that surrounds what we're trying to do for these folks. So you can go. So the Hybrid Lifeline Peer Project, hybrid coordinators, we serve specifically in distressed regions of the state. So I take care of the most rural distressed counties. Therefore, that's why I have Johnson and Carter County. I'm out of Action Coalition in Mountain City. We assist individuals in accessing treatment, recovery options in the community, increasing access to employments and school participation. We in participating in the hybrid funded programs, and we increase stability in family and living situations. So not only do I work with the individual into that's going into treatment, I also work really closely with the families as well. Because we all know that being a family, having a loved one in active addiction, that's rough on the family, and they need to heal too. So we work closely with them as well. So as a Lifeline coordinator, a hybrid Lifeline coordinator, all of us in the faith-based initiative programs, we are all certified peer recovery specialists. So we are all certified in that, and we can help everyone or help the people that we're trying to help by being having that lived experience. It helps. We use our recovery story, and gaining the trust of the people that we're serving is just a huge thing. I've seen so much. It's really beautiful, because I know when I was living that lifestyle, I didn't think anyone understood. So having us in there with lived experience, that I see such a beautiful thing in the way that we gain their trust. So at least one individual in each congregation can become a point person. We provide referrals and recovery resources for individuals with substance use and mental health issues. We train others to help. So not only do we do the presentations that we do, we also, there are a lot of us that are adult mental health first aid trainers, as well as youth mental health first aid trainers. So we can come into any setting and do these free trainings for anyone that's interested in doing that. So like Ashley said, you'll see us out, and I know you've seen us everywhere. We are all over the place. So we come to most all of the coalition meetings. We go into the churches, any of the agencies. I work closely with the Department of Human Services. That is kind of what my grant is out of. So I work within the DHS offices to get referrals that way. And so we just kind of help each other out that way. We also work within the with law enforcement, in drug recovery court. I get calls from the jail all the time trying to help people get into recovery. So just giving that person that chance after. So.
I also want to hit on the colleges. So we have a collegiate recovery initiatives with the state. Nathan Payne is our director of that. So he goes out here and starts a recovery movement in our campuses across the state, because a lot of our young folks now are experiencing substance misuse and mental health. So making sure that our college folks has the access to the resources in the community as well is huge.
Absolutely. So there is the map for your East Tennessee Lifeliners. So we have, I think, 6 in our area, 7, and well, that do the East region. Of course, what you're going to see, like I said, is me and Jeremiah, because we are this region. But Jeremiah, I like the way he says it. So we have access across the entire state to treatment. I like the way he says it, because he calls it our underground railroad. So if I get a call for someone, and in our area, we don't have a lot of resources. So we make calls throughout the entire Lifeline, and we can get someone from here all the way to Memphis, sometimes Kentucky, sometimes Florida, just wherever we can get them to get them help. So it's a beautiful thing that we're able to do that. So far since 2014, and I think this is huge, we have presented over 11,000 trainings for stigma reduction. We've referred, as of last month, 29,448 people into treatment and recovery support services. And got an email just the other day that said in March, we have well reached over 30,000 that we've referred into treatment. And we've started over 785 recovery meetings. So that's something that me and Jeremiah do as well. We start recovery meetings throughout our, whether it be All Recovery, Celebrate Recovery, whatever it is. We start those meetings. And so far, I think I've started in Carter County, I think I've started 2, and in Johnson County, I've started 3. So that's a huge thing.
One thing I really like in your community, if this is an area where you're lacking, if you'll just get with one of us, this is an area that we can come in and help bring those meetings to the areas that don't necessarily have them.
Yes, absolutely.
I think this is my slide.
Yes, I was gonna say, do you want to
So
speak
the
on that?
So the faith-based community coordinators recruit and build relationships with congregations that are willing to help and guide their members and community to work with the recovery community. Project Lifeline connects people to treatment and recovery support. Our hybrid Lifeline coordinators serve a specific distressed region of the state. And then we also work very close with our regional overdose prevention specialists. So those are our folks that are out here educating on overdose reversal, and that can give out naloxone, all for designated to meet people where they are and encourage long-term recovery.
Yeah, and I'll speak to that as far as your ropes. I know that you probably all know this, but your ropes for our area is Frankie Nunley and Brooke Burleson. They are both out of SCAD. So
I know that's a lot of information in just a little bit of time, but I do want to leave it open if anybody has any questions.
I have one. This is, excuse me, Randy Byington. Are you guys working with Shades of Grace in Kingsport? The Methodist?
I have not.
Okay, I just wanted to check. It's a church, a Methodist church that focuses on a lot on serving the underserved and homeless population, of which a number of those are, mental health and drug related issues.
I know I've heard.
If I drop my email in the chat, will you email me some information on them and I'll reach out?
Yeah, basically right now, the easiest would be if you just went to the Facebook page. I don't think there is a web page for the congregation.
Yeah, and I'll add to that too. Also, if you guys know of any of the congregations that you think maybe we don't know about or that they may be interested in this, reach out to us. I can get them in contact with Ashley or whatever. Also, any trainings that you guys know of that if they want us to come in and do, Ashley and I both are mental health first aid trainers. We both do adults. I am now a youth one. We can do stigma reduction, ACEs, QPR, assist. It's kind of endless and it's every bit free. So if you know anyone that would like for us to come in and do that, we are happy to do it.
We also, I know for myself, having 33 counties, a lot of our organizations need evenings and weekends. So that's an area that I am very flexible with. Nights and weekends, I'm open quite often. So if there's certain things that you need done in the evening or weekends, just let me know.
Anything else for them before we move on?
Thank you, Jillian, for letting us share.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you all for being here and for everything you do. Okay, at this point, I'm going to ask all of our committee chairs to share just a little bit about what they'll be doing in their committees today. So as a reminder, we have 3 committees that anybody is welcome to attend at any time. So if I can have all 3 of y'all share just a second about what you'll be doing today in your committee meeting.
Matter who goes first.
Go for it, Gabby.
Okay, so we are still working on our 2 focuses, which are food insecurity and mental health. And we didn't get to do much work at our in-person meeting back in March, yeah. But we're just continuing that conversation.
So in Committee A today, we're going to talk about bringing a training to the area. So myself and Scott Hipsher with Carter County Drug Prevention sat through an interlock device training today. And so we're working on bringing that training to Carter County. And then we're also just going to kind of talk about some of the events that are coming up to support the prevention and recovery community.
Emily Matthews couldn't be here today, so I'm filling in for her on Committee C. I think today we're just going to go over briefly, just hit on the bylaws again, making sure that those look okay, and then kind of focusing in on putting our data out there and making that 1-pager and things like that.
Okay, does anybody have anything else they wanted to share before we move into our breakout rooms?
Jennifer had mentioned that we do mental health first aid, and we actually have a mental health first aid scheduled on April 29th in Johnson County. If anybody is interested in going through that.
Awesome, thank you. There are a couple things in the chat as well for y'all to check out. And I'm going to go ahead and open the breakout rooms. Thanks everybody for being here today. And I hope that all of our committees have great meetings, and we'll see you next month.